I want to thank you people for hanging out and hanging in there for this. All right. Example of some trigger words are national emergency, war, national defense, invasion, insurrection, etc. These programs, designed to produce a computer printout of all provisions of the U.S. Code that pertain to a state of war or national emergency, resulted in several thousand citations. At this point, the Special Committee staff and the staff of the American Law Division, Library of Congress, went through the printout to separate all those provisions of the U.S. Code most relevant to war or national emergency and weeded out those provisions of a trivial or extremely remote nature. Two separate teams worked on the computer printouts, and the results were put together in a third basic list of U.S. Code citations. To determine legislative intent, the U.S. Code citations were then hand checked against the statutes at large, the reports of standing committees of the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, and, where applicable, reports of Senate and House conferences. In addition, the laws passed since the publishing of the 1970 Code were checked and relevant citations were added to the master list. The compilation was then checked against existing official catalogs, that of the Department of Defense Digest of War, Digest, Digest of War and Emergency Legislation Affecting the Department of Defense, that of the Wants of Emergency Planning, Guide to the Emergency Powers Conferred by Laws in Effect on January the 1st, 1969, and the 1962 House Judiciary Committee Synopsis of Emergency Powers, provisions of federal law in effect in time of national emergency. So they still had a lot of books that they ended up with. The task of compiling a catalog of emergency power statutes, therefore, has been immeasurably assisted by use of computers, but computers could not replace the need for a systematic and very laborious hand search of all the volumes of the U.S. Code, the statutes at large, and Senate and House reports. The following compilation is intended to be used as a working list of the most relevant emergency provisions of the law. The Special Committee could not be certain that every statute that could or may be called into use during a time of war or national emergency is in the following compilation. However, the Special Committee believes that the most significant provisions are herein catalogued. The compilation is organized as follows. 1. A summary of all the U.S. Code citations in order of their appearance in the Code and specific public laws with the Congress and the year they were enacted. 2. The text of U.S. Code citations and public laws with explanatory notes and such material from Senate and House reports which explains Congress's primary intent concerning these provisions of law. 3. Citation of statutes in accordance to committee jurisdictions. The appendix contains 7 tables that list various breakdowns of the usage of the United States Code. 2. The proclamation of national emergency now in effect. 3. A subject index. 1. See appendix page 594. 2. A bid. 3. A bid page 596. 4. A bid page 597. So, aren't you glad I don't have the whole thing? Just what I read to you, but I've got another one too. And this one is directly from um, the government publishing office. Just as this one says it's from the government publishing office. For that was the link that I got it off of. Okay. Now let's see where we're at. Okay. I'm going to close this out for now, folks. I don't know if I'm going to do any more tonight. I've got this other document. It's in a PDF format. And it is 147 kilobytes. but let's open it up and see how many pages it is. At least I can put in here in the video the document ID as it comes from the government, and it's how they index their files. Come on, open up. You're not that damn difficult. Okay. Order code 98-505 CRS report for Congress received through the CRS web. National Emergency Powers updated September 18th, 2001. Harold C. Realia, Specialist in American National Government and Finance Division, Congressional Research Service, the Library of Congress. National Emergency Powers. See, so we have another document, and this is an official government document that you can order if you want, and it consists of 24 pages. And I've been in a hectic. I just did a web search for this. Background and history is the contents, Chapter 1. The emergency concept, Chapter 2. Law and practice, 3. Congressional concerns, 4. The National Emergency Act, 5. Conclusion, 6. And then National Emergency Powers, a selected bibliography. Articles, books, and documents. List of tables. Declared national emergencies, 1976 to 2001. Now that's something that I might get into and bring us from 1968 to the 2001 period, and all of us have been around that are of cognitive mind and are capable of thought since 2001, so we know what's been going on in the world. At least I hope so. Hope that we can all be part of our government and what we want this great republic to be. So, on that note, people, have a good night or a good day, and I'll be seeing you again if I'm not taken out or taken away. I don't know if what I'm doing is illegal or not. There's so many laws that are coming out now, and Obama's done the thing about conspiracy theories, but I'm not talking about 9/11 and who is responsible and who isn't and all of that. I addressed that in my previous account. So anybody that has content about 9/11 and it goes against the official government version is looking at censure, heavy-duty fines, and this is the word that perturbed me the most. Exterminate. Extermination. Yep. It wasn't exterminate, it was extermination. I have that document as well on my website concerning Obama censoring the internet. Well, not him, but his czars. Thank you, people. Be well. Try to do the right thing. It's all any of us can ever try to do. Sometimes we fall short, but for the most part, let's try to do the right thing, especially now. We're looking at some upcoming crises. I wish all of you well, and take care.